Lucia. How are you?
Hi, Lucia. I'm doing well. Nice to
It's,
meet you.
it's nice to meet you too.
So,
Awesome.
hey everyone. Thanks for joining Shake Stir and Mingle. Ashley here with Lucia Creed.
Hi, how are you doing?
Doing well, Lucia. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's great to be
How's
here.
your day going?
It's going really well. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
beautiful day, so I'm
Are
enjoying
you
it.
down there in Tennessee or where are you?
I'm not. I'm actually in Portugal right now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll start off with a little icebreaker,
Okay.
if you will. Okay.
Sure.
You know, you've worn many hats in this industry, but if we had to have a Lucia cocktail, you know,
Oh.
what would it be?
Oh, well, I don't know. I tend to often gravitate towards classics. I'm not sure exactly what it would be, but it would be something like strong,
Okay.
but with, well balanced,
Right, right.
with some interesting flavors in there. Don't want it to
Okay.
be too boring. Maybe a little bitter.
All right, a little bit of bitter.
Yeah, yeah.
I hear you. We have fun running Shake, Stir, and Mingle and getting to speak with all of you and really getting a taste of behind the bar.
Yeah.
But if you actually put me behind the bar, I can't mix a drink for
No,
anything. So
sure you can. Sure you can. You just need some pointers. You could do
yes, yes, definitely need some pointers.
it.
Akinde, he tried to show mom and I a thing or two, and Keith when we
Yeah.
were down there when we came to visit the distillery in Humble Baron. So just maybe I'll talk with you more about your mentorship
For
program.
sure, for sure. It just takes practice.
Yes, yes, practice makes perfect. I hear you. I hear you.
Exactly.
Um, so I'd say I'm more so mocktail. I'm in like the birth work community, so
Okay.
a
Oh, cool.
mocktail, a mocktail gets them going.
Yes. That seems more appropriate for that
Right,
community.
right.
For sure.
So, if you had to describe your leadership style, what
Mm.
would you say?
I think I really try to focus on being collaborative. I
Right.
think that both within my company, both within Uncle Nearest and just the broader spirits industry, there are just so many really creative, intelligent people. So
Mhm.
I really just try to stay curious about their points of view,
Yes, yes.
and open to insights of my teammates and community members, just to better understand like what are the needs, what am I missing, where are the blind spots, and like how can we all work together to continue designing programs and initiatives, that support bartenders and the entire community better. So I would
Mm.
say collaboration is a really big part. Um, and yeah, that's what I try and center. I can definitely be bossy, so I try and focus on the collaboration.
I think that comes with it, right? Comes with the territory. Just a sprinkle.
Right, just a little bit, just a little
Just a sprinkle.
bit.
But I too love to be collaborative and get other people's points of view mixed in there
Mhm.
and just hear from one another because we can't do it by ourselves,
No,
right?
absolutely not. Or we can, and we won't do a good job because we're
Mm.
always going to miss. Everybody's going to miss different things. So the more points of view you can bring to the table, the more complete view, you can have, and then you inspire each other and brainstorm and come up with things that are just so much more, innovative than they would be if it was just you alone in a silo trying to figure everything out on your own.
Surely, surely, and comprehensive, I can imagine, right?
Yeah, for sure.
How do you see your personal story aligning with that of Uncle Nearest?
Mm. Um, well, I mean, as a company, Uncle Nearest, I think there's definitely alignment in a lot of ways, but I'd say um, we have kind of guiding principles that we all really try
Right.
and focus on. And my favorite of our guiding principles is we pull as we climb.
Mm,
And I love that. I've known that kind of nebulously, but to have it like put so succinctly,
yeah.
I really love that idea. And I remember, Fawn talking about it at one point as we don't have to get all the way to the top before we start helping other people, right? Like
Mm,
it's really important to share what we know. Again, going back to that collaborative spirit, and really support others. So I love that, and I think that I have a lot of alignment with that. And looking at Nearest as an individual, his legacy is one of the major tenets of it is mentorship, which I think really ties into that idea of pulling as you climb. And so I think there's a lot of alignment there too, just with that desire to help other people do better and to, be a catalyst for helping them fulfill their potential.
yes, absolutely. And there goes that word, catalyst.
Yeah.
And congratulations, head of trade
Thank
advocacy. Is
you.
that
Thank
correct?
you. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's
Thank
amazing. How did you
you.
feel when you first heard or you first got that position? What was running through your mind? What was the first thing you did? Tell me about it.
Which one? The
With
job
Uncle
or the
Nearest,
or
yeah.
Catalyst? Oh, so when I got hired with Uncle Nearest, I've been with Uncle Nearest for almost 5 years. So I didn't get hired
Right.
into this role. I got hired as the director of marketing and then moved on to the VP of marketing and then head of trade advocacy. But this actual job that I'm in now of head of trade advocacy, was really a work in progress.
Mm,
Between Fawn and myself, I had been working on the brand side of things for many years. I had been a bartender for like 10, 12 years and then moved over into brand work because my kids were old enough to both be in school and I realized I hadn't slept more than 3 years in a decade. So
you're not giving me much hope. I'm in the very early stages. I have three
uh,
under five.
Oh, goodness. Well, enjoy it. It goes so fast. It goes
Yes,
so
yes,
fast.
I'm trying.
Mine are 15 and 20 now, so
Okay,
it goes
okay.
it goes real fast. Um, but I had come from a, a position that was described as marketing, but what I
Mm,
realized when working with Uncle Nearest and moving into more of what we call above the line marketing, right? Like all of the
mm,
more official advertising and press
right.
and looking, working in all these different places, I realized that what I had done in my previous position was really trade advocacy. It was really
Mm,
um, marketing, but in a way that really centered the bartender and
okay.
initiatives focused around education and creating opportunities for them to engage with the brand. And when I realized that that was really what I loved, I came to Fawn and I told her, I don't think I want to keep doing marketing. And she was like, okay, like I want you to be in a position where you really have an opportunity to
Yes.
excel. So I was incredibly excited and grateful when she created the opportunity for me and created the
Hmm.
position for me. And it's been great. It's been, I still, we're a very small team, so we all wear a lot of hats. So I still do a lot with the marketing team as well.
Hmm.
And that part is wonderful. But having some capacity to really build programs that support the bartending community brings me a lot of joy.
Well, small team but mighty,
Yes,
right?
true,
Uncle
true.
Nearest Premium Whiskey is up there, right?
Yeah,
Zero, did I
we
see
work hard.
zero additives?
Oh
Did
yeah,
I
no,
see
no.
that
Yeah,
correctly?
yep, that is correct. That is
Hmm.
correct. Yep,
Something to be proud of.
absolutely. No, it's
Yeah,
delicious.
I can it definitely is. And we went home with a lot of memorabilia.
Oh, good. Yeah. Oh, I love that
Right?
jersey. Yes. So cute.
Also, yeah, let me show the camera.
Yeah,
But also some stuff to line our cabinets with, right? But
as you should.
I can connect with you on the advocacy side of things. I beyond Shake Stir and Mingle, I work in a reproductive justice organization. So
Amazing.
advocacy is a big part of what I do,
Yeah.
and just using my voice to help empower others is,
Hmm.
something that hits close to home.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah.
I used to want to be a midwife when I grew up, but things went a different direction. But yeah, I have so much respect for that
Thank
whole
you. Yeah.
universe. Yeah.
You
So,
know, midwifery, maybe when all of the girls are in school, is
mm,
something that I've been considering.
yeah.
Yeah, I, like I told you, three under five. My oldest is five, and I have 19-month-old twins.
Oh,
So,
wow. Twins,
yeah.
that's a whole different situation. Oh my
A whole
gosh.
different situation
Oh.
where, a night out on the town with some uncle nearest does sound
Yes.
great, right?
Yes. Oh, wow. You are a superhero.
Oh, stop. I'm
Whew.
talking to one. I'm talking to one.
Oh,
Takes one to
man.
know one, maybe. So, let's get into mentorship, right? My next
Yeah.
question is, was there a defining moment where you knew that mentorship was a life path for you?
Um, I think the way that I mean, I have been just involved as a unofficial mentor in
Mm,
ways just because again going back to that like wanting to connect, wanting to build community, wanting to collaborate. I think that really opens doors for you to be able to have those interactions. And
mhm,
there's so many ways that mentorship can happen. You could be mentored by someone you never even meet, or
mm,
just by an example of somebody. But I think, when really trying to be more intentional about mentorship, um, I had been involved in a couple of different programs, but when I moved into this role at Uncle Nearest, my first task was really to look at the industry and see what I thought was missing.
mm,
And as a smaller company, one that does not have a lot of money to be investing into anything besides the people that work for us,
mhm.
um, we didn't have the money to compete with the big brands and competitions. And there were brands that were already doing a phenomenal job around kind of general education. But what I did really see a lack of, or, where I saw there could be stronger resources was around mentorship.
Mm,
Um, and it was kind of amazing to me. I'm like, why has this not been a bigger priority? This is an
mhm.
industry that for so long was built on apprenticeship and has always
Yes.
been built on this kind of more unofficial mentorship or even more standardized mentorship. But I think that was really disrupted during COVID.
Mm,
So many people were forced to leave the industry. So many people at kind of higher levels were forced to leave the industry for so many reasons just to be able to survive. And then as things restarted, there was this whole new generation of bartenders coming in that didn't have the resources in those people that held all that knowledge. So I
right.
really felt like that was a place that we could make a big impact. And teaching and connecting with people had always been something that I was drawn to. Um, so I thought that that would be a great place for us to create an initiative. And it made so much sense in terms of Nearest legacy as well. So that was kind of the moment where I wanted to find a way to make it more official. And from then have been, not only building this program, but just trying to work on myself. One thing that I
Mm,
noticed was that a lot of the people that we ask to be mentors, especially within this industry, they've done really remarkable things on their own. But when you talk to a lot of them, like when I was interviewing people to be mentors for Raise the Bar, a lot of them said, Lucia, I know how I did this, but that doesn't mean that I know how to do this for someone else or how to
Mm,
lead them through it.
mm,
So that was something like I really wanted to learn how to help the mentors learn to be better leaders and coaches and mentors, not just for this program, but to have that knowledge to then take back to their own businesses, to their own communities, and be able to just amplify the program even outside
mm.
of this 6 month time period. So I've had a really wonderful collaborator in this process. Her name is Sarah D'Souza, and she is a mentor with a lot of formal training and a lot of experience. So
Mm.
she has been really, really amazing in helping me create this program so that we're making sure that we're not just investing in the mentees, but really investing in the mentors as well. So it's a, once again, collaborative process. It's the
Collaborative
word of
effort,
the
yes.
day. It's the word of the day.
Oh, that sounds amazing. So,
Yeah.
Raise the Bar, a 6 month mentor and mentee, really one-on-one, comprehensive working. I love
Yeah.
that. You have Tiffany as one of your
Yes,
mentors,
she's one of our
correct?
mentors. She
Yeah.
is. Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's really, this year is the inaugural year, and so it's really been kind of building the plane as we fly it. I mean,
Mm,
it's been fantastic, and spent a lot of time developing it before, but you can't really know what something is going to be until you
yes.
get it out there and try it on. But as I was saying, with this focus on both the mentees and the mentors, I think of it really as like a leadership development program, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
we're really trying to focus on building individual capacity, strengthening the bonds between community members, and really like finding ways to make meaningful change in the industry through mentorship. And like you said, it's one-on-one. We connect rising professionals from diverse backgrounds with these amazing established industry leaders. Tiffany is one of them, but we have a fantastic group of people all over the country that have really done great things, and they're really helping the mentees to really do a few things to clarify their vision. Like the
Mm,
mentees came into this, and most of them had so much passion and they were so excited to do
yes. Yes.
something, but they couldn't figure out exactly what it was or how to do it, right? And some of them were very clear, and others were just like, I see this problem and I don't know how to fix it, but I have to do something. So really helping them to find clarity of like, what is their vision? What do they want to change? Setting
Mm-hmm.
strategic goals, and then developing a real world project. They all have capstone projects that they're working on, that they will then write grant proposals for and present
Oh,
to Uncle
wow.
Maris leadership. So it's not just the talking to somebody and learning from their experience, but really trying to build these skills so that they leave the program with an actual goal and a project and the skills to execute that project and go out and find funding. We are supplying two $10,000 grants for two of the
Mm.
mentees this year, but really, the money is great to keep them motivated to complete the process. But I think really all of the tools and skills and the tenacity that they're learning and building through the process is what it's all about. So yeah, it's a really it's been a really great project. I'm so excited for it to continue. We start our next round of applications June
Mhm.
1st, so for the 2026
Wow.
cohort. Yeah,
You know what? Congratulations.
thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations. It sounds like a lot of follow through. You hear about a lot of programs that are great while you're in them,
Mm,
but then once it's over, it's like, okay, like what do I do now?
right.
It sounds like you've created like such a comprehensive mentorship where people can feel seen and heard and have someone there with them to walk them through the journey and visualize and reach for that next step. what's
Yeah.
what's over the bar.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean that's what we're going for. I mean, my goal is for this to grow into a community where, year over year we have these people that are part of the program and then stay involved. And some days the mentees will be the mentors, and then there'll be
Yes.
this amazing network of people around the world. Next year we're expanding to other parts of North America, so I hope that'll just
Wow.
keep growing. But have a a huge network of people that you can reach out to for ideas and
Mhm.
collaboration.
Me too. That's amazing. That's
Yeah, I'm
amazing.
excited.
Congratulations. Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
just because gatekeeping, it doesn't help anyone, especially when you're just starting out. There's so much
Right.
out there to learn.
So
Having someone
much.
help guide you through the journey is, I know I needed it for myself, so.
Totally, 100%. And I've I think that you have kind of a lot more guidance in a lot of industries, right? And a lot more kind of more corporate business settings. There is this space that's created for people as they're coming up to define their goals and figure out what it is that that they want to do and how they want to move forward.
Mhm.
But I don't think, if we're looking at hospitality spaces in particular, I don't think that that is nearly as common, and especially if you're not in a
Mm.
leadership position, right? And so, like a lot of people, they're looking ahead, but they're looking at, what competition do I need to win to get the next job at that cooler
Mm.
bar? Or, what am I going to do to get out of the industry when I'm too old to keep bartending?
Mm.
And, I think while that's totally fine and that is a part of a lot of people's journeys, I think that I would really love to see more bartenders really discovering what they're passionate about within the industry and us
Yes.
taking the initiative to solve for the challenges and create new opportunities and uplift the community from within. And I think that's part of what excites me so much about the program is, we have people creating these projects that are just like
Yes. Oh
so
my gosh.
amazing.
I can
Um,
imagine the cool, innovative ideas that you're hearing. I mean, you're encouraging people to blossom in their career, not just plan for what comes next or
mhm.
afterwards, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
so cool, so cool. I'm sure you're hearing ideas that, like, maybe 10 years ago, no one would have ever thought of and can totally be possible tomorrow.
Totally. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it just goes back to that, that creativity that is in this industry. And so many people think of the industry as transient in some way, right? Like until recently, when I was young, you definitely didn't like aim to be a bartender when you grew up. And I think that that has changed during the course of my career. But,
Mm-hmm.
so many wonderful ideas. We've got people who are like trying to develop free and low cost educational resources
Mm.
for people that are trying to create opportunity for people in the industry who were previously incarcerated, or creating
Yeah.
space for the intersectionality of art and marginalized communities, and like so many cool things that, yeah, I'm just always blown away by the ideas that they have.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I can see it in your face, like
Yeah,
how much it touches you. I love that.
it
I love
does. It does.
that. So next we'll actually talk about tales of the cocktail.
Tails!
And how you've been
Yeah.
honored with the Catalyst Honoree.
Oh,
Congratulations.
thank you so
I mean,
much.
we can tell that you're making change and creating space, right? But how did it feel to hear? How is
Oh,
it going? We'll see you in New Orleans, right? Later
yeah,
in
yes,
July.
absolutely, absolutely. I wouldn't miss it. Um, I mean, honestly, I was shocked. I'm so honored. I think, this group of individuals that I'm getting to join is full of such amazing people in the industry. And, there's so many people that I look up to that have been inducted either when it was Dames Hall of Fame, or now as Catalyst. And I'm just so honored to be joining that group. But people that know me know I usually like to kind of work behind the scenes, be in the background, support other people in the spotlight. If I'm not behind a bar, which I haven't been in years, I'm kind of
Hmm.
shy. Um,
Are
so I
you?
am. I'm good at pretending not to be because I was a bartender for a million years,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I definitely do hide a little bit.
Okay.
So I I was pretty shocked when I found out about this, but truly just being recognized for this work that I'm doing that brings me so much meaning, and
Hmm.
being recognized by such an inspiring group of people that I look up to so much just really means the world to me. And I'd say it's also it's challenging me in a way
Hmm.
to stop hiding and be more visible, and making me realize that if I really want to continue to bring awareness to these issues that I care so deeply about, I'm going to have to stop shrinking and really claim my seat at the table so that
Yes.
I can do my part to continue changing the industry for the better and creating opportunities for others to do the same.
Well, you know what? We want to see you. We want to see more of you. I mean, you're pushing all these initiatives forward. Yes, like step into the spotlight. We're so
I'm
excited
trying.
that you've been you've been awarded this honor. And when we do see each other at Tales of the Cocktail, in July, if you hear me like shouting your name from like down the
Yeah,
street.
do it. I can't
Yeah.
wait to meet you.
So looking forward to it.
Me too.
Also excited that Shake Stir and Mingle has been named Catalyst Media Partner.
Yes.
And this will be my first year going
Oh,
down there. Yeah. Mom
oh,
went down last year without me
okay.
because I was very newly
Yeah,
postpartum.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay,
I have
I'll
lots of
send you all the
her.
tips. I'll send you all
Yeah.
the tips.
Send me the tips.
It can be
What
dangerous.
fan? What
Yes,
fan I should be carrying with me?
several.
Several.
Yes.
Yes, I need all the tips.
Mm-hmm.
Which event it's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be a
Oh,
blast.
it's so fun. And I think there's there's um there's a progression, right? Or at least there was for me.
Hmm.
Starting as a baby bartender, you try and do all the things and
Hmm.
you almost die. And then as you get more experience, you learn, don't ever finish a drink. And
Mm.
there are a lot of tips.
Yes,
Um,
I've heard that there'll be a
mhm,
lot of tasting, not
mhm,
to, sip as you go, but yeah, don't
mhm.
dive into the first one because
Don't,
there will be
no.
many.
There will be a lot. It's so much fun, but I think the best part is just getting to all be together and being in that community of people
Mhm.
that I don't know, there's nothing else quite like it. I have been in the hospitality community. My mom was a waitress when I was young and used to just bring me to work with her when I was
Oh
like
wow,
12.
yeah.
So I feel like I've been a part of it my whole life. But especially the bar community.
Mhm.
There's just this like level of love and acceptance and support that is I've never experienced anywhere else. So you're gonna have a fantastic time. That's great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And
Yeah.
my husband's got to hold it down with the
Yes.
girls.
He can do it.
So
Go, Dad.
mom and I will have some mother-daughter time, get down
Oh,
there.
that'll be
I know it's
awesome.
gonna feel like a whirlwind, but I am definitely looking forward to it and so excited that Tails has, included us in it all.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really something. So much fun. You're gonna love it.
I I don't think I've been to New Orleans ever.
Oh,
So the heat
it's
is,
oof. Mm.
yeah.
I don't do well with heat or humidity, and it's
Uh-huh.
both all the
It's
time.
both.
Oh,
We're just
so
gonna be
much.
wet.
You're gonna be wet, and then I was walking to a dinner last year, and I looked out the window and I
Mhm.
was like, oh, it's beautiful. I'll just walk. And like 100 yards from where I was going to like a dress up,
Oh,
nice
yeah.
dinner, just the sky opened, and I walked in like oh, there's fire. Oh. Oh, I love these IA
I
effects.
that was so
Oh, But
It
that's
might
what
be
it
the
was
fear
like.
because the
That's what it was like. I walked in and I was just dripping wet. It was so be prepared, wear,
All
bring an
right.
umbrella, all the things, all the
All
things.
right, bet I'll bring an umbrella.
Yeah.
I'm guessing the setting matches the industry, right? You encounter a lot of people in a very raw, maybe vulnerable point, transformative moment where
Mm-hmm.
they're able to just have a drink and just decompress and let things off of their shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm guessing that in that weather down in New Orleans, we might too feel at a very raw, like state
Yeah.
of vulnerability and transparency.
Yes. All those things. All those things.
So maybe they go hand in hand. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, but I will let you know my thoughts on the weather, right?
Okay.
Our next question is, hmm, in your view, how
Mm-hmm.
have the barriers began to shift in this
Mm.
industry?
Well, I definitely have seen them shift. When I started bartending, when I started bartending in a more craft cocktail space, it was in kind of the early 2000s. It was very, very different. I
Mm,
was often the only woman. There was just no diversity of any kind, at least in that space. And I was in California at that time, which
mhm,
is a very diverse place. I was in the Bay Area. Still, it was a very closed community, and I think one thing, the thing that I've seen change the most is the addition of a lot more women into the industry. I think that
mhm.
has been fantastic, and we can all say a big thank you to Ivy and Lynette from Speed Rack for that, really creating a platform where women just were in the spotlight, and
Mhm.
that a lot of women who have um, these leadership roles now came through Speed Rack 10,
Mm.
11, 12, 13 years ago. um, so that's changed a lot, and that's wonderful to see. I think we still definitely have work to do there,
Mm.
but that I have seen a major shift. I think that we're starting to see a shift in more diverse racial demographics. But again, a lot more work to do there, even more
Mhm.
so, I would say, both here and internationally. There are definitely times when I travel and I'm like, this still looks like the US 15 years
Hmm.
ago behind the bar. So, I think we need to definitely continue to work there. But it has been nice to see a lot of people who have kind of worked in the background for a long time starting to get their flowers and get the recognition that they deserve. So
Yes,
I'm
give
I'm
them their
com-
flowers while they're here,
exactly,
right?
exactly. So I'm confident that we will continue to see positive changes there. Um, and I think, there's still a lot of work to be done. We have the hospitality community is a place where we've historically seen a lot of inclusion of, I think, the queer community and immigrant
Mm-hmm.
communities. Um, again, that inclusiveness in terms of the queer community, and there have always been a lot of wonderful people in immigrant communities who have just been a huge part of the fabric of this industry. But I think it was made really clear at the beginning of this year, as things have been so tumultuous, that
Mm-hmm.
we as a community need to do a lot better job of protecting all of those demographics, and those two in particular, because they're some of the most vulnerable among us, and I think they felt a lot of abandonment by allies during this time when they need the
Mm.
most support. So that is something that I think there's still a lot of room for improvement, and something that we all have to work really actively on. Um,
Yes.
yeah, and then I think there are places where we haven't even cracked the surface. I think, ageism is a big one in the industry. Barriers around people who aren't able-bodied or struggling with mental health challenges.
Mm-hmm.
That's really yet to be addressed in an adequate way, in my opinion. We have some fantastic people doing great work around mental health and like starting to crack some of these things, but um, I think the resources really needed to be dedicated to make sure that we have more equity in those spaces because it's definitely not anywhere near where it needs to be in terms of redirecting resources to address those issues.
And yes, speak it and speak it loud, right? Because we have to continue to uplift one another.
Yeah,
No
absolutely.
person, no person should be left behind. And if you're not helping to, raise a hand, lift the next person up, then what are you doing, right?
Yeah,
Just
and yeah, especially in this community that is so inclusive and so I think so self-aware in terms of, really trying to create space. So just making sure that again, we're not having those blind spots. We need to really be able to see as many different perspectives as possible.
hmm we'll keep working.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
We'll keep working. Ah, you want to get fun with me?
Sure. Uh-oh.
One ingredient. It can be literal, it can be figurative.
Mm.
But what's one ingredient that you think everyone can have a little bit more of in their
Oh,
lives?
yeah. I would say right now in particular, I think curiosity is a big one for me,
Mm.
in so many different ways. But I think, not trying to harp too much on what I was just saying, but like just trying, I think we're at a place right now where we really need to be curious about each other, try and
Mhm.
understand where other people are coming from, really try to broaden our perspectives so that we can hold space for people that aren't the same as us or don't think the same way as us.
Yeah.
So I think that works both metaphorically and in your cocktails. You can get curious about new flavor
It
combinations and different
absolutely
ingredients
does.
and new techniques. But yeah, I think that's a big one. I hate to see people close down and refuse to learn about, other ways of looking at things.
Yeah, no, that completely makes sense, both figuratively and literally, right? Shake, stir, and mingle. Again, it's not because we know how to make a drink, not even because we're truly in the hospitality or spirits industry, but more so that we love to speak with all of you, right?
Yeah.
Everyone from behind the bar, at the head of advocacy, maybe in the nooks of and crannies of, the industry, but just hearing all of your stories and connecting with all of you, because yes, you all have beautiful stories that matter and add to the next person's journey. So why not just mingle and talk
Yeah.
about it?
No, great.
No, I love
Thank
that.
you.
That was a fun one. Good job, Lucia. That was a
Thank
good
you. Thank you. Thank you.
one. How do you reconnect with joy in your
Mm,
work?
in my work, I mean, I would say both, I think it's community, like both my team. Uncle Nearest does a lot of things really well, but one thing that Fawn and Kate Jerkins, who's my direct boss, have done a fantastic job of is hiring. We have
Hmm.
such an amazing group of people. We all love each other a lot, and just like when we're together, it's amazing. So having
Mhm.
opportunities to get together with our team, spend time with them, it really brings me a lot of joy and kind of just recharges me and
Yes.
reminds me of what we're doing. And similarly, you know, with the community, things like Tails and
Hmm.
different opportunities. I just had the opportunity to take our Raise the Bar cohort, all the mentors and mentees in person to the distillery. Um,
Was that everyone in the rocking chairs?
yes, that
Oh, I love
was
that.
them.
That's so cute.
that was them.
That
Oh,
was cute.
it was great. And I was thinking about it and looking at next year and seeing what we, things we wanted to adjust. And I was like, okay,
Hmm.
like does it make sense for us to, take people away from their jobs and out of their markets and ask them to come in person and spend this time? And then we got there and just like the joy of everyone
Yeah.
being together in real life. I mean, they had such a great time. I had such a great time just even dealing with all the logistical stuff. Like it was just so wonderful to just be together and meet each other in real life because not everyone knew each
Yes.
other and get to, share. They got to share with each other their projects and what they're working on, ways they might be able to work
Hmm.
together and get points of view from different people in the group. So I really
Did you take
think
some time to see the horses?
we did not go see the horses. That's
Uh-huh.
I usually do, but we did not go see the horses because they don't like us bringing that large of a group because it can scare
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yeah, but no, we didn't see the horses this time. But we got to, go to the Dan Call farm where Nearest
Hmm.
and Jack lived, and it was and spent a lot of time with Victoria, our master
Hmm.
blender, who is just one of my favorite human beings in the world. So that brought me a lot of joy. So I just
I
say
love that.
the community part is what
Yes.
really, yeah,
And
does it for me.
I felt it as soon as I stepped out onto the land. I mean,
Mm.
driving up to the distillery, I had mom drop me off as soon as the
Hmm.
fence started, and that was
Yeah,
a long
it's
walk.
a long walk.
That was a long walk, and me with my asthma and allergies, I was, oh
Oh,
man, what did I do? But
but you
just
made
walking
it.
on the land and every single person, honestly,
Mm.
smiles, happy, excited to speak, and it was joyful.
Yeah,
Speaking with pain, like just everyone was wonderful.
yeah.
It was a wonderful experience. I can't wait to get
It's a
back down
great
there.
group. Yeah,
Honestly,
it
yes,
is a
and
very special place.
when mom runs into fun smile is infectious.
It is.
But when mom runs into Fawn, like immediately I'm getting a call. I just All right,
Oh,
I have one last fun one for you. Are you ready?
sure. I don't know. I don't know.
You got this.
Oh,
You got this.
okay, okay, okay.
What would surprise younger Lucia the
Mm.
most?
I think that like I'm a business person. That's so weird to me. I mean, it's fine now, but I would have never in my bartending days,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, before while I was in college, I taught yoga in juvenile hall.
Mm.
Like I did not think I would grow up and be a VP of marketing or a head
Yeah.
of
Head
anything,
of trade, yes.
right? So I think that, not that I didn't think I would be successful, I just didn't think it would be in a business environment in any way.
I
Um,
hear you. The
but here I
trajectory,
am.
right? You made
Exactly.
it, and
It's that
you're
sprinkle of
right where you're supposed
bossiness.
to be. It can go a long way,
It
right?
can.
A sprinkle with a smile.
Exactly.
Oh, that's
Oh,
amazing, Lucia. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you.
oh,
This
thank
conversation has
you.
been wonderful. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
so
joining me with
much.
Shake Stir and Mingle. I am looking forward to
Absolutely.
meeting you in person at Joe's
Yes,
in
me
July.
too.
You know, I, I I don't think I'll wear a wig. I think it'll be way too
Oh,
hot,
do
and
not,
yeah,
do not. Absolutely not.
it'll
Just
probably just
linen.
flip flop.
You
Yeah,
just want loose linen and a
loose
fan
linens
with the water
with the
spray.
mister. Okay,
Yes, yes, and plenty of changes of clothes because
I
it
got you.
might
I got
rain.
you.
Yeah, but
I'll come
I'll
prepared.
email you all the tips.
Yes, please, please, all the tips.